listen to Paula. I'm going to deal with another judgment tonight. Producer, play what Paula say.
Of public opinion. That warning from Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn regarding the SSL fraud matter. She says several aspects of the case have been sprinkled across the public by many players.
We, as stakeholders in the administration of justice, have to make sure that we pay every respect and regard to the parameters, the guardrails that are set in the law.
The matter is set to return to the Criminal Case Management Court in the Home Circuit Court on March 20 to facilitate the settling of issues, including the mode of trial, whether by jury or judge alone, and the date of trial. But given what she described as excessive public discourse, all of that can be jeopardized.
It may have an unintended consequence to undermine not only the trial of Miss Panton as it relates to fairness to her in the process.
Jean Panton, former employee of SSL, is currently before the Home Circuit Court, charged on an indictment with 22 counts pertaining to allegations of falsification of accounts, forgery, uttering forged documents, larceny by a servant, offences under the Cybercrimes Act and the Proceeds of Crime Act. But Ms. Llewellyn says there's more at stake.
It may undermine the ongoing investigations into different aspects of the matter that I'm aware has been continuing.
Justice Minister Delroy Truck agreed, reinforcing the DPP's concerns.
We must not try a case in public, and we must allow the evidence to be gathered. And once the evidence is gathered and the file is ready, then the case can be tried in court. I think, as the DPP has pointed out, there's too many opinions floating around. And if you ask me, a fair amount of it is mischievous.
Mr. Chuck says especially where political players are weaponizing the case.
I don't want to get into the political nuances. The truth of the matter is, it's obvious that a certain amount of fraud was committed. Let's get to the root of it. That fraud, to the best of my knowledge, has no political basis, and therefore don't make it into a political tug-of-war.
So syndicate, this is about syndicate number 6 now. So Chuck now come out to defend Paula. Chuck now, Courtney.
Yeah, come out.
To defend Paula. Wow. Jamaica, the case is being politicized.
Mischief makers.
This is who this people irritated. Yes, hello, good night.
Good night, my brother. How are you?
Yes, talk quickly, my brother. Talk quickly, please.
Yeah, they are good job, you know, but listen something, my brother. PNP attack, you know, PNP attack. But listen now. So when I think anything they say to Andrew Parter, them not do them say. Them are force things don't condemn. Now he's badness. But they can't bother PNP. Them gonna use badness to them at the government. But one thing I tell you, my brother, nothing can stop the win. But PNP attack. Them really attack, brother. They were do something like me, yes. Every day them dip on the road. Every single day them dip on the road. Them attack, but they don't use badness. But them badness are going to run out. Them badness can't stand up forever. Through my government. Respect you, and you did a good job, yes, sir.
All right, my brother. All right.
All right, thank you, thank you.
But Chuck come out to say, here is Chuck Jamaica. saying that the matter is being weaponized and politicized. And I'm asking Delroy Chuck.
In what way?
In what way is the matter being weaponized and politicized?
What can go so?
In what way Delroy Chuck is the matter? Delroy Chuck, as Justice Minister, don't you think in the interest of justice, you Cross-Cree should be behind bars? You don't think so, Courtney?
Just like
Chucky, come here. Anybody can tell me where you Cross-Cree is?
not on the island.
As Justice Minister, the natural justice that we talk about, shouldn't the Justice Minister said we need to get the head of an organization? Me want to ask you, Jamaica. Me want to ask you this. Me want to ask you this. Me want to ask you this, Jamaica. May I ask you one question? Gene and Panton is a deflection, you know.
Mirror.
Gene and Panton is a deflection. And when you hear the DPP, remember she say, remember what she said last night? I'm not throwing it out there, or not, I'm not, I'm hoping that I'm not in the brains of some of them to ask for the case to be thrown out. Remember what she said that, Courtney?
Yes. Shall plan.
A plant shall plant.
Throw it out.
And when I heard that, I said,
Dissolve.
because what them want to go for is an acquittal for the case, you know. But Paula, I will say again, your defense is weak. Your defense is totally weak, Paula, because there is no way, Paula Llewellyn, there is no way you can be prosecuting only Gene and Panton. Because I'm sure the Kroll report is telling you it is a web. So how then are you taking the bottom of the food chain when you're not going to the top? So my argument is, where is Cross-Cree and where is the Kroll report? Where is Cross-Cree and where is the Kroll report? Where are Cross-Cree's and SSL assets? And as a fact check Marlon Morgan tonight, Marlon Morgan said the Prime Minister had a bond.
Yes.
Marlon Morgan said the Prime Minister had a bond. But the Prime Minister during the SSL said what? Marlon said the Prime Minister have what, a bond that what? Matured. In a media release, I go and fact check them, you know. And this is what I'm talking about. Who is fact checking Marlon? In a media release on Tuesday afternoon, Holness noted that he had disclosed in February 2016 that he had an investment brokerage account. When some have an investment brokerage account with SSL, which was opened in 2008. So how Marlon says
Bond.
him not says a bond that matured. An investment brokerage account is a bond. Anybody will know about stocks and securities and bond? No, our Marlon say. What did Marlon say? Producer, play our Marlon say for me now, please. Because Marlon said the Prime Minister had a bond that matured. How then the bond, according to the Prime Minister, is an investment brokerage account? Mighty God. Jamaica, I don't know about these things, but is a bond the same thing as an investment brokerage account? Not two different things that, Courtney.
So.
Not two different things that. And Marlon told you, and he told the world, and I don't hear no media house fact check Marlon Morgan to say what you said was a lie because the I went back to the records of the archives of the Gleaner, you know. A bond is a bond, and an investment brokerage account is an investment. Two separate things. Mighty God. No, side can't. This can't. No. Here, Dr. Scarborough, if the report is released, it implicates the case. We want to see the report. Hello?
Yeah, Andrea, just a little correction. So the brokerage investment account is where you purchase whatever you want. You want stocks, you want bonds, but you need a brokerage account to buy stocks and bonds. So I guess the Prime Minister was saying that he does brokerage account, an investment brokerage account, but the Virginia Marlon is saying that in that brokerage account, the Prime Minister had these the bonds that he bought, and it matured, and so now he was withdrawing it. So I don't know if you're following. The brokerage account facilitates the purchase of the stocks and bonds.
Okay.
Without the brokerage account, you cannot buy stocks and bonds.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
But if he argued, Marlon said he had a 10-year bond, and he opened the bond in 2008. So if the bond matured in 2018, he would have taken it out. Here it says, an investment brokerage account is not the same as a bond. A brokerage account is a type of investment account where you can buy and sell various securities like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and ETFs, while a bond is a specific type of investment that represents a loan you make to a company or government where you receive regular interest payment and eventually get your principal back at maturity. Hey, hello, good night.
Hi, Professor. I'm not going to be long because gentleman explained the brokerage thing, but there is an inconsistency in Andrew Holness' statement and Marlon's statement that I must point out. Right?
Yes.
Andrew said, the Prime Minister said he liquidated his last remaining financial instrument managed by SSL, which Marlon is now telling us it's a bond. But something is not adding up because bonds have maturity period. They have face value, they have issuer, yeah, so if he liquidated that, if he so claimed that he liquidated that bond, there should be penalties for the liquidation.
Oh,
yeah? There should be penalties for liquidating before the time. So something is not adding up here, and I'm glad you have pointed it out.
Yes.
I don't know. There are too much investment bankers in the People's National Party for them to have Marlon Morgan run and Andrew Wallace them running around them in circles. This guy is lying, because there's no way on earth if the instrument is not mature, there's a penalty for it. So once again, we catch Andrew Wallace doing favors being granted to him, because you can't issue when you're dealing with a bond. When you break the period of it, it comes with a penalty. Yeah, and also not only is there a penalty affixed, how it is that he's able to liquidate something that does not come to maturity. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. So Andrew Wallace is lying because him know the average Jamaican don't understand basic investment. Yeah.
Well, I leave it for the investors. I leave it for the investors to consider. But I know say some bandul who are something not sound right.
Yeah, something don't
some
sound right.
ism
And I
schism.
want to agree with you that the PNP needs to find somebody, because I don't understand how they have Nikisha Burchell running a seat and she's their communications person. They need some spokespersons to deal with Marlon and Crystal Tomlinson. I would fully endorse her and the gentleman Dennis Meadows from St. Mary from Trelawney to lead that charge.
Dennis Meadows would have been a good campaign spokesperson if it's true. Dennis Meadows.
Beat them.
Dennis Meadows would have deal with them business, you know.
Forget about him.
And remember, I'm a team for them, you know.
Dennis Meadows and Crystal. Hey, that would have been a serious combination, you know.
That's an A team, and Nikisha Burchell could be present as the communications director. Yeah? That would be the perfect team. And by the way, it's two women, you know, so they would look pleasing upon their eyes, comparing to look on that big piece of land.
Aye!
And left you.
Aye!
Big piece of what?
Big piece of log. You know, students, there are people who are here who are offended when I speak about Marlon a particular way. According to them, he's my brother in Christ and I'm fat shaming him. And I need to be Christ-like. So, it wasn't my sentiments that he's a big piece of log. It was the sentiment of head boy. But Jamaica, this is just as how they are very disrespectful and subtle in, you know, but the truth is the truth.